Why? What's happening, everybody? It's your boy. That's right. We're back. It's Monday. Y'all know what it is. It's Monday at 2 o'clock Eastern Time, baby. It's Let's Talk with Stanley Doucette. I am he, your host, and today we have another amazing podcast. Let me bring it down today. Let me bring it down today. Guys, I had a weekend. I had a weekend. Yes, I had a weekend. Oh, I'm sorry. Before I get started, let me shout out to all of our listeners today. Wherever you're calling in from, whether it's Australia, whether it's South America, whether it's Canada, or whether it's right here in the United States. What's good, family? How you guys doing? How everybody, I say, how your mom and them darn? How's everybody darn? What's good? What's good? Listen, I had a weekend, right? I had a weekend spilled over to the day. My guest didn't show up for the podcast today, not today, but today. And as I say, but that's a small thing to a giant, right? We rolling, we balling, we doing what we do. You know, I had all of these different things, and I was ready to roll for our podcast on today with a particular guest, and everything was locked and loaded. And I'm ready. Let's get it. Let we going live. Guest didn't show up. Did just didn't show up. Why? Just hey, it didn't show up. No worries. It's okay. But then as I started to think about it, because be honest with you guys, I raise my hand, right? Somebody say they're going to do something, they don't show up. It's kind of defeating. It hurts a little bit. Be honest with you, kind of sad a little bit. I thought about this weekend. I had a difficult, some mentally challenged days this weekend. Let's be honest with you, right? So as I began thinking about this weekend, right, and instead of dealing with my own, let me rephrase that. Instead of being all in my feelings and walking around moping and sad and oh my God and woe is me and all of that stuff, I really began to hone into harnessing everything in one voice, right? And what does all of that look like? And what does that look like for me? What does that look like for everybody? So, I was thinking about, I had some dates that are not the best in my life and kind of pushed through those dates this weekend and just yeah, it was not that time and then kind of rolled over into um, um, Sunday. As a matter of fact, the pastor preached on why lie. That was a good one. Right on time. Why, Craig? But anywho, so get into all of that, and that's cool. And then get into today. They don't show up, and kind of balled all of those things in. And in my belief, the devil just trying to make me go into a certain direction, just trying to make me feel a certain way. But I began to think about a little bit further into, yeah, somebody didn't show up for the podcast, or there are some dates that were, just was not good dates for me personally. But overall, I had, you had a good weekend. I think it was Friday. My mom and I hung out. We had seafood and we watched a movie together, and it's good, right? But here's why I'm bringing all of this up because it kept weighing me down. It literally kept weighing me down. Just all weekend, it kept weighing me down, right? Now, that being said, but what else is weighing other people down? What I consider weighing me down is not something big in the big scheme of things, the way I look at it, right? I look at it right here in America. There are several people that are actually going to lose health care. Millions of people are going to lose health care or even access to health care, or their premiums are going to skyrocket. I look at individuals that's absolutely going to lose their employment. I'm talking about career individuals that have been working with the federal government for the last 10, 15, 20, 30 years, that they're just giving them a few dollars or a few weeks of severance, and then that's it. That's it. There's no longer nothing. I look at individuals that's with I believe it's United Healthcare, that have been laying off people as well. I look at all of the layoffs that's coming with some of the bigger tech companies, right? Ooh, something in my eye. Some of the bigger tech companies, and those individuals now, and not everybody, but some of them just don't know where to go and what to do. I look at individuals that have literally didn't get drafted, that was not picked up as a free agent. And now that they're out there just kind of flailing in the wind. And I look at those things, and a lot of times we have collectively been taught that if you go to school to get a good education, you'll find a job, and then on that job, you'll have that job for a very long time. Well, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, that is no longer the case, right? Now we have birth what's called gig workers and people doing other, I'll say, secondary jobs or something that they can do for a few period of time or a few hours of a time to get some extra coins to go and do something else. I look at individuals that's starting their own online businesses. I look at individuals that's doing other things to create more revenue. And that's fine. But there's a couple of things I want to talk about today. One is the mindset of individuals, right? The mindset of individuals. Today's society, everybody wanted tomorrow. Not, I'm sorry, not tomorrow, yesterday. They want it yesterday. They get started on a job, they want to be making $750 billion tomorrow. It don't work that way. They don't People are not willing to put in work for whatever reason. They're just not willing to put in work. I have several friends that have owned their own companies and doing phenomenal in terms of that way, but they're also calling and saying, Stanley, you know any good workers? Just somebody that want to work, right? They'll pay them top dollar, but they don't even want to work. It's just crazy. There are people doing so many other different things. There are people that's doing multi-level marketing, network marketing, direct sales, just to create some additional streams of income coming back to their pocket. Regardless of what you say about sales or about jobs or whatever, everybody, wherever you are around the world, needs some form of revenue coming back to you so you can pay for your daily things or your weekly things or your monthly things. As they say, I've never seen a bill get lost. Never. Whether it's in the mail, whether it's online, why bills don't go to spam, but everything else seems to go there, right? Never seen all that. But today I want to talk to those individuals. And I don't want you to lose hope because One Voice has a hope for you. I don't want you to lose hope because of the circumstances that someone else put you in. Don't lose hope. I don't want you to lose hope because you may not see a way today. And I understand it may be difficult, but you have to lean on your faith. But don't give up. Today, I want to share with you something to everybody that I mentioned, whether you or the federal government and they close your entire division or they close just about all of the Department of Education. And I want to talk to all of you guys, right? The people that got laid off, got fired, in between, not sure. I want to talk to every single one of them. If you know someone in that category, text them right now and tell them to hop on the podcast because I want to talk specifically to them. I don't want to talk to people that have billions of dollars. I don't want to talk to people that just, just saying, I don't care. I'm going to sit on the sidewalk. No, I want to talk about those individuals, excuse me. I want to talk to those individuals that really want something out of life and continue to grind. Whether you're in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, I want to talk to you today, right? Now, I don't generally, and I've actually with my podcast, I've always did things, and I may mention our company, 1Voice, but I've never really delved into it in a deeper way. But I actually want to talk today specifically to those individuals because I know we have something that can assist you. Now, this is not for everybody. I know everybody's not going to pick it up. I know everybody's not going to run to it. I get all of that. But this is for those individuals that are looking, that are hungry, that have a work ethic, that have integrity, that have personal power, that really want to do something in their life. Last week, yeah, it was last week, we talked about having that elite mindset and beginning to build your own. And I'm looking for my notes actually as we speak, but begin to build your own all the way around. But it all starts with you and your own leadership, your own self. Do you fold to the pressures of what others are given, or do you stand up in your own personal leadership and say, I got it, regardless of what's coming at you, and say, I got it. I got this. I believe you are those individuals. I truly believe you are those individuals. I'm gonna tell you guys, I'm gonna share a story. I hate to say tell, but I'm gonna share with you guys a story, right? So my dad, God rest his soul. I remember he worked for an oil company. I'm not going to say which one and get into all of that, but he worked for an oil company at an oil refinery. And he did pretty good in his life and did good at his job. He loved what he did. The job loved him. He loved what he did. He made great money for what he wanted to do in his life. And I remember talking to him just about diversifying and hey dad, do you have anything else coming in? Do you have another stream of income, right? And by the way, also for those individuals that have a job that are underemployed, for those individuals that have something that may want another stream of revenue, I'm talking to all of you guys when we're talking about this and when we're talking about one voice, right? So my dad, he was like, no, I work for an oil company. Why I need another stream of income? I make great money. Oh, okay, dad, I'm telling you, I think if nothing else, I'm not saying that to quit your job, and I'm not saying that, but if you had something you can do that you like to do, or you can help other people and have another stream of income come back to you, would that be okay? And he was like, I don't want to hear none of that, and none of that, and all this and all that. And I now remind you, this is somebody that worked for an oil company over 40 years, only called in work 5 times. I still boggles my mind. Worked for an oil company over 40 years and only called in work 5 times. Just think about that for a second. Think about that. 5 times he called in work. Well, as he worked and as he was getting older, he's getting closer to retirement. And but he still loved what he did. He loved what he did. If his shift started at 6 a.m., he was there at no later than 5:15. If his shift started at 6 a.m., he was there no later than 5:15. If it was 6 p.m., he was there no later than 5:15, right? So he was always where he was supposed to be, on time, early, all of that good stuff. So as is getting closer to the end of his career, one day, I don't know, he fell off a ladder or something and he hurt himself. So, injured on the job, no big deal. So, it's like, oh, you gotta call, he can't go to work. They actually told him to stay home. You at the hospital, get it all bandaged up, and after you get healed, they release you, then come on back to work. No problem. So he at home, he got his little boot on and and I could see him just still walking around, like just trying to do things at the house, right? No problem. So eventually he got back better, started to heal, and then he got a phone call. Yes, sir. He got a phone call. And in that phone call, it basically was saying they're thinking about shutting down the entire refinery. Let me say that again. They were literally thinking about shutting down the entire refinery. Now, this is somebody that worked over 40 plus years, only called in work 5 times, but now all of a sudden he's in this pickle because somebody else was controlling his destiny. So he's in this pickle. Well, if they close it down, I'm too young to retire, but I'm basically too old to go work and start and being at another refinery, right? And what his specialty is and all those things. So now he's in this limbo. Well, long and short, a few days later, they call and say they've made the decision. They're going to shut the refinery down. Now, let me pause here and say this. Let me pause and say this. It wasn't because the refinery was not making enough money. Excuse me, making money. It wasn't making enough money. Let me say that again. It wasn't that the refinery wasn't making money. It wasn't making enough money. So they shut the whole thing down. Once again, greed at its finest, right? Don't matter the people that's going to suffer from this. Greed at its finest. There you go. Okay. So now all of a sudden, my dad is at home without job, without health care, all of those things. He's literally there. They gave him some little, I call peanuts on a dollar, I think 10, $20,000. And, it was like, that's it. See you later. Good luck. Now you have somebody that's that close to retirement, but yet can't retire and yet can't go get another job because somebody else was making a decision for him. How many people you don't have to raise your hand because you might be driving. But if you'll think about this, how many other people are determining your outcome? How many other people are literally making decisions for you that you have no idea about? People at the federal government. We always used to say you get a federal government job, you set for life. Well, that doesn't hold true anymore. You work for a great healthcare company. Well, that doesn't hold true anymore. And I can go down the list, tech company, that doesn't hold true anymore. And we can keep going and going and going and going. And yet the profits for these companies are skyrocketing. So here's my question first to all of you guys, is I'm trying to get you guys to understand where my mindset, my thoughts are to some of these individuals, especially with some of my friends that have these elite mindsets. Why are you allowing somebody else to control your destiny? If it didn't work the 40 years before, why do you think it's going to work these 40 years? The teacher salaries are not going skyrocketing. They're actually making people kind of work 5 and 6 and 7 different things. So my question is, why are we allowing other individuals to control our destiny? I don't know. I've been trying to figure that out for the longest. I hear people saying they don't want to start their own business. So what they're eventually are saying, is I would prefer somebody else to control my destiny. That mindset has to shift. It has to shift. It has to shift. Now, now that we're there and we understand we have to have a different mindset. So then he comes in and say, "Well, Stanley, I understand what you're saying, but I'm not good at sales. I'm not good at online stuff. I'm not good at mechanics. I'm not good at this." And we can go through a whole litany of things about what you're not good at, right? But yet, every single day, you'll figure out a way to go and do that thing that you love to do. Whether it's go to church, and this is not a disparity on church, whether it's to go to church, whether it's to go to a dog track, horse track, whether it's to go to the casino, whether it's to go to somebody else's job, whether to get up and do the ride shares, or anything else, right? You'll get online to do stuff online temporarily, all of those things, but yet you don't want to take your own destiny in your own hand. Well, that has to stop today. That has to stop today. Now, I'm not going to share with you and say, stop this today and don't have a solution. I honestly believe we have a solution to help you get to where you want to get to, right? This is not the end all be all, but in the meantime, I want to share with you, and I will share with you something, our company, 1Voice Worldwide, that I firmly believe will give you a leg up, right? See, a lot of times people think when you start talking about companies or online companies or whatever, but they don't understand where we have a passion and we also have purpose. If I didn't love people and I didn't want to see people be successful and win, this would not even be a topic of conversation. But as I'm looking at people hurting, frustrated, angry, not knowing what's going to happen tomorrow, I want to share hope with you. I want to share love with you. I want to share passion with you of things that we've connected with a small group of people across the United States and getting bigger each and every day. That I want you to at least take a strong look at what we're doing, at least be in a position to hear, to listen. And then from there, if you don't want to do it, that's fine. But at least now you have an opportunity, right? Because after this podcast today, then you listen to this podcast, whether it's today, tonight, or whenever you listen to it, you can no longer say that I never had an opportunity. But today, you're going to share and you'll have that opportunity. One of the things that we're doing with our company, 1Voice Worldwide, is allowing is we call I'll call it like a plug and play, right? We've already built everything out for everybody, the products, the services, and so on, and put you in a position to win at the beginning. So I'm going to share with you just some of our products, And then also I'll share with you some of the things on helping you win and training. And then we'll close out this podcast because I want you to be successful, regardless of where you're calling in from, right? I want you to be successful. If you look at this, our company, One Voice Worldwide, excuse me, actually just recently celebrated our 20-year anniversary. We just recently celebrated our 20th anniversary. As a matter of fact, it was July 18th through the 20th in Atlanta, Georgia. And we had an amazing time. When I say amazing time, but this is when I want to kind of go back to, and you talking about One Voice. We initially started in something called VoIP home phone services. That's what we initially started with. VoIP home phone services. Some of you guys listening be like, what? What is that? That's how far ago it was. But since then, we have evolved in several different industries, right? We talking about from online industry, we're talking about a beauty industry, we're talking about finance industry, we're talking about insurance industry and travel industry and so many other things that we have. But those are the industries that we're talking about. But see, our company, if we would have stayed doing that one thing, like a lot of us do on our jobs, we think this is okay, I'm gonna be here the rest of our lives, but not knowing that there's somebody else determining our faith and determining what direction we're gonna go in. Now, we don't want that. We want to help you build your own business within a business. So when you start a business, everybody know you got to go out and get your LLCs or your inks, and you get all the paperwork together and you get all of the websites together, and then you go get all the products or the services and da 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 da. We've already taken care of all of that. That's right. We've already taken care of all of that. So take that stress off of your head, right? Now, as we were building One Voice, we didn't stay stationary to VoIP phone service. As a matter of fact, we don't even do that anymore, right? But let me share with you some of the products that we collectively offer all the way around, right? So we have an entire suite of wellness supplements. As a matter of fact, close to 30 wellness supplements. I mean, it's a wide variety of supplements. And we also have something called pure black seed oil. Pure black seed oil. If you've not done your research on black seed oil, please go and do it. As soon as we finish this podcast, go and do it. As a matter of fact, if you go to Amazon.com, we actually have a book on pure black seed oil. Our the CEO of One Voice, Lord Sam Warren, actually wrote a book on pure black seed oil. As a matter of fact, because of how we think and the heart we have for people, one of our founding members, Miss Samira Akbar, he dedicated that book to her and her entire family. Yeah, yeah, that's big and that's huge. But why am I sharing that? Because if you go and either go and buy the book, go to Amazon and buy the book, or do your research on pure black seed oil, and you'll see the magnificent things that it does overall. Okay, so but in addition to that, we also have over close to 30 plus supplements, and I mean a wide variety of stuff from immune defense all the way up to different things from immune support. I mean, women's support, men's support, and so many other things. So it's a lot of stuff that's there. Okay. We also went into the beauty side in the beauty division. Now, yes, I'm a male. I'm not going to wear lipstick. That's just not me. I'm not going to do that. But here's what we decided to do. We understood the power of beauty. Even now, somebody is on listening. There are people right now listening to the podcast, putting on makeup, putting on lipstick, putting on eyeliner, eyeshadow, etc. Well, here's what I want to share with you guys. I want to tell you guys the story. Some of you have heard of this incredible singer by the name of Rihanna, right? And she did an amazing job with singing and building some revenue for herself. I think, as a matter of fact, she had made a few $1 million in the entertainment industry, which is great. Which is great. Well, she decided to listen to this. Here it is again. Diversify her portfolio and began to have another stream of revenue come in. And she started her own beauty company. Well, now that beauty company took her from making a few $1 million to now she's a actual billionaire, right? You can't make this up. You can go look up the statistics and all that stuff. Let me give you one more. whether you like them or not, the Kardashians and what they have done with their brand. Well, if you look at the brand and the things that they did, they went into the actual beauty industry. And believe it or not, they created two, not one, but two billionaires in that family through the beauty industry. So if you look at that, whether you are, the Kardashians, whether you Rihanna, or whether you other individuals that are doing phenomenal things inside the beauty industry, that's what happened. They have literally garnered the opportunity in the beauty industry to make that happen. What does that mean for our beauty division? Well, it's simple. We have vegan products, what is vegan lipstick, vegan skincare, et cetera, on and on and on. And as a matter of fact, we in our recent um, celebration, our 20-year celebration, Dr. Chasman Ayana, actually, who's an incredible beauty consultant and celebrity stylist and all of those things that she does, she actually was there teaching us the difference in actual products. She bought up a well-known brand and had their products and had our products as well, the exact same on each. And she shared and showed the difference right there in the live demonstration. And let me just say, it wasn't even close. It wasn't even close. I mean, it was not even close. So the quality that's there and what we're doing with our product is second to none. Men, if you're listening, you're like me, and I'm like, I ain't putting on no lipstick, no eyeshadow, no blush, none of that. We understand, but there are also some scrubs and some things that you can do for your skin and to put yourself in position that you're able to make it happen, right? To make your skin clean and all that stuff is lotions and soaps and so on. And we also have of course, we talk about the skincare and all of those things. So we're happy about that. We now, in addition, we have created. This was way back when they first started talking about Obamacare. We created something called a healthcare savings, right? This is not insurance. It's the healthcare savings division where it gives us savings on things we're going to do anyway. So if you think about something, when COVID hit, telemedicine took off, and that just basically calling a doctor 24/7, 365, and being able to talk to the doctor, whether it's on video or whether it's actual on the phone, talking to that doctor and saying, "Hey, doc," right? "Hey, doc, let me explain this to you." And they can see you and they can talk to you and recommend and share and all of those things. And in some cases, they can also even recommend a prescription for you, have it sent to your pharmacist, and you just go pick it up, right? Now, this is not scheduled drugs. This is some of the other drugs, but it's just that simple. Well, it exploded during telemedicine, but guess who had that on lock? When it happened. We did. It was right there at our fingertips. And it just literally was an amazing thing. So for those individuals that are losing insurance and may not be able to afford insurance, take a look at our One Voice Healthcare Savings Division, right? Because you're talking about discounts on telemedicines, uh, dental, prescription, vision, chiropractic services, and so much, and also savings on the other side on foods, coupons, financial discounts, legal consultation, and so many other things that's on the plus side. It's an all inclusive package, but let me just also share this with you guys. It's all inclusive. It's only $50 per month, and it covers up to, listen to this, 10 dependents. So you can have 10 IRS dependents. Let me make sure I'm clear on that, right? So it's you, your spouse, and you can have 8 other children on one plan for only $50 a month. So you can call the board certified physician 24/7, 365 as many times as you need, and it still will only be that $50 a month. Guys, that is one of those most incredible things that I've seen us do. Now, for those that are out there that may be saying, you know what, Stanley, that's cool, but let me take a look at some personal stuff. Well, we have a financial division as well, financial services and consulting, where we're able to help people, assist them in beginning to repair their credit, right? Because if you were like me when I was in school, I had an old Lord credit. I just, yeah, it was bad. Right? But we want to help people build their credit back legally, properly, in the way it's supposed to go. Some people say, "Hey, I want to look at maybe doing a personal loan and maybe in a little pinch and they're trying to get a little personal loan." Well, we can help you with that. Some people are looking for debt relief and consolidating debt. Well, we can help you with that. There's some education stuff we can help you with that. Even on the business side, we're talking about helping you build your business credit. So for those business owners out there that's looking and trying to understand what's the business credit and how does all of that work, well, we can help you build that business credit. As a matter of fact, we'd also help you with your business funding up to $100 million on that side as well. So yes, there's a lot of things that we're working through to help individuals all the way throughout. So if you're somebody that's looking for something, we have you. You somebody that's saying, you know what, I need an additional stream of revenue, we got you. If somebody that just needs something, we got you. So there's some more, but let me keep going because there's a few more things that I want to highlight, and then we'll climb on out of here. We also have specialty coffees and tea. Now, what do I mean by special coffees and teas? This is not something you just gonna see on your label that say coffee. No, that's not who we are, right? We have over 50 plus different specialty coffees and teas. I mean, it is absolutely amazing. And here's the thing for all of you coffee enthusiasts, we don't send out any coffee until somebody orders the coffee. Why do we do that? Because we want to guarantee that it comes to you as fast as possible, but also get this, that is the fresh as possible. You know, when the coffee hits the house, we want the mailman to be like, well, I know what that is because it's that fresh, the aroma. You guys know that coffee has just this amazing aroma. So we want to make sure that you receive that and that is absolutely fresh. So for all of you coffee enthusiasts that are out there, even if you already set in business and all that stuff, look at what we're doing with our coffee and tea division. It will be absolutely amazing. It will be an incredible taste to your taste buds. Now remember, it's specialty coffees and teas. It don't just say coffee, right? So there's a lot of information there if you look at our site. Now, I want to now go into the thing that a lot of people, unfortunately, in those industries that I talked about earlier, whether the federal government, whether it's United Health, or some of the other individuals that are unfortunately being removed from their job or released from their job or canceling whole divisions and different things, is their insurance. Well, we've had the opportunity to, as I like to say, the plump pleasing pleasure of putting ourselves in position to where we have a site where individuals can go to that site and look up and see if the insurance that they want, they can purchase insurance themselves. You don't have to go and wait to 45 other people doing stuff, but actually you'll be able to go to the link and look at it yourself. And it's all explained to you right there. That's health insurance, life insurance, hospital insurance, accidental insurance, dental insurance, vision insurance, pet insurance, even critical illness insurance. Now, why am I sharing those with you? Because sometimes right now, if you're in a moment where you may be like, oh, I'm not sure, or you're in a position, you have a company and you want to get some better rates right now, today, this second, this moment, you can get in touch with us and actually go to our One Voice Complete Advantage and look at what we're doing overall and get this, ladies and gentlemen, and be able to purchase something right there. As a matter of fact, we have something that's on there that's for everybody from a life insurance. As a matter of fact, let me just pause and say this. I'm saying this in as much love in the United States as I possibly can. Having a GoFundMe is not life insurance. Having a GoFundMe is not life insurance. I would prefer you to get our guaranteed life insurance that's on there, right? Than for you to go out and go do something else. I just want you guys to go and look at it yourself and pick something and put yourself in position for just in case. And if you don't have it and now you're just going to start getting back on your feet, at least you put yourself in that position. So take a look at it and its totality in every single thing that you're doing, and we can help you in being able to move that forward. Here's another thing. We don't need to wait for open enrollment. We can do it right now today. We can do it right now today. As a matter of fact, go to the website. Go to, I'm sorry, hit me up. Just go to Let's Talk with Stanley D at gmail.com. Let's Talk with Stanley D at gmail.com. Just send me an email to the show and I can point you into the right direction so you, your family, or your business can get some of the cheaper some of the cheaper rates. High quality is what the top providers. It's not just with anybody or somebody that just say insurance. Is actually with high level quality insurers that are out there, and you'll be able to literally get yourself in position right now today. Right now today. So we're very excited about that and how we're actually pushing that forward, moving forward, and being able to help individuals right now today that may be suffering from that, right? So remember, and for whatever reason you got laid off or you're looking for more insurance or you're looking for cheaper insurance but the same quality and a higher quality, all that stuff, go and hit me up and I'll make sure you get to that. That's Lets Let's Talk with Stanley D as in David at gmail.com. Hit me up, send me a message. I'll make sure I get you to the right individuals and then you'll be able to make it happen from there. All right. Now, let's go to the next thing because I want to talk to each individual. Let's go to travel. We have introduced our travel division, right? There's a lot of people out there that want to travel and like to travel and all of those things. Well, I want to help you guys use our travel agency. I want to help you get some great group trips, some great retreats in different parts of the world, be able to explore different parts of the world, be able to see different things, whether it's cruises, whether it's group travel, whether it's the rental cars, whether it's the hotels. We want to put you in those VIP style retreats or VIP style group travel and be able to not pay VIP costs, right? Right. So, we want to have 5 star, 6 star, 7 star hotels. Well, that'll be great, but sometimes we may not be able to put ourselves in there individually. But now you have somebody that'll be working to help you get those group trips and those group cruises and all those things and be able to stay in some of the places on the cruise that listen, I never know they had multiple tiers of cruise. When I was going to cruise before, I always thought just okay, you go, they don't have a window. Like when they close the door, it is pitch black. I didn't know they had other sides of the boat where you can have balconies and decks and real look like a real hotel room and all. I didn't know that. I just thought it was a bed, put your stuff down, you had a little small place to take a shower, and that was it. I know, Craig. But I want to make sure that we able to provide you with some great quality advice on that. All right. And then for those people that's looking from different parts of the world, be on the lookout for individuals that are in the Philippines and in Jamaica. We're going to be coming there shortly and doing business through the One Voice banner. We're going to be doing business there. So if you have somebody that's there on the lookout, make sure you tap into that. Now, whew, that's a lot that I shared. Now, let me kind of come back to everybody, right? If you're listening to this and you're like, well, Stanley, I'm excited, but I don't really know which one to do. It's not about which one to do, it's what's your passion. So, what is it that you really like? There are some people that love beauty. There are other people that absolutely love the supplements. Some people say, well, Stanley, I really like what you're doing with the insurance, or I really like what you're doing with the financial services, or I really love what you're doing with the tea or the coffee. There's a young lady by the name of Miss Tracy Coleman out of Mississippi that have literally developed her entire an entire coffee company through our actual company, right? So she gets paid like two, three different ways. Not only does she get paid from One Voice and what she's doing with One Voice in the coffee, but now she has her own coffee company. So now when people come and purchase her coffee, and get their cups of coffee and all of that stuff. Now, all of a sudden, she's making money there as well. So it is an amazing thing. Some people may want to do that with their beauty. Some people may want to do that with the travel and so on. And so there's a multiple tier way that you'll have the opportunity to make some money. But now, you have to tap in. You have to plug in and begin to look at how you're going to do it. Now, let me add this to you, and then we'll climb on out of here. Most people will say, okay, Stanley, that sounds great, but what's the catch? The catch is you. The catch is you because we have put in place training. We have put in place multiple levels of training to help everybody be successful. When we first start a business, we don't really have anybody, for the most part, some of us do, but we don't, most of the time, we don't have somebody there telling us what's the best practices to help build your company. We are not there for individuals to say, you know what, I like what you're doing, but I don't know, I don't have a clue. No, we want to help you start the business and actually train, coach, mentor you, and teach you on the best practices on how to develop and build your own business. Yes, not just say, oh, go get them, but we want to make sure that we're doing that. And what how does that all happen? We have something called the success machine. So again, if you go had a job, whether it was federal government, whether United Healthcare, whether it's somebody else, you have a job when you first started, right? They took you through a training, or regardless if it was a sham training or not, but you went through some kind of training. Well, with us, we have something called a success machine. What is the success machine? Inside the success machine is very simple. Listen to what I'm sharing. It's a systematic approach to enhance your life through empowerment, opportunity, and elevation. We want to first make sure not only you're starting your business, but you're empowered. Because if we believe we can change your, I won't say change, elevate your mindset even higher than where it is today and begin to pour into you positivity, pour into you success, pour into you, different outlooks and be around positive minded individuals, that's going to help your business all the way around. Because right now, some of us are just getting beat up. Well, when you're around individuals, that becomes exciting, that want to see you win, want to see you successful, and cheering from you, cheering for you, regardless of whether they know you or not, they're cheering for you. So you talking about that empowerment. We're going to share with you the rest of the opportunity in detail. So you will have that to make the money, the opportunities, and even put yourself in a position to where you may even look at how you can build revenue where there's one, two, three, four, five, six figures. It doesn't matter. But we want to help you be successful in that environment and then help you on elevation. The one voice overall is the beginning, it's not the end. So once you start making the monies you want to make, now we want to help you go into your why, the reason you're doing your business, and how you elevate, and some of the deep passions that you have. Whether you're talking about building water wells in Africa, whether you're building homeless shelters in America, regardless if you going now, you want to shift into real estate in the entire world, regardless of what that is, we want to help you elevate. But here's the great thing, because you now have a revenue coming in that's significant, because you now around some other successful entrepreneurs, because you have a well-versed network, now you have the opportunity to begin to do some bigger, 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 and bigger things, right? And now that's the success machine. Inside the success machine is something called the success system. Now, this is where we're going to specifically teach you, coach you, mentor you on how to build your one voice business, right? We're going to welcome you. We're going to help you get started. We're going to build the basic training into you and share with you all of those things, examples, be on the phone with you, making sure you're having the success you want, and even doing advanced training. So some of the actual trainings that we do is actually transferable into multiple industries, multiple things that you're going to do. We're going to talk about, personality traits and all of those different things, whether they're, money motivated or they just love to have fun. We're going to teach you that. We're going to teach you how some people learn, whether it's audio, right? Listening, whether they're, visual, they're looking at stuff. So we're going to share with you in details, even some of the advanced training stuff. So every single thing that we're doing, we're not doing this just to say, oh, let me go ahead on and tell you to do this And they, no, no, no. We want to make sure that you're successful all the way around. All right. So take this down real quickly. Real quickly. I'm gonna give you give you the website. Excuse me, not the website. The email again, real quick, and the One Voice website. So the first thing I'm gonna give you the email. My email, and I'm gonna be looking at my email for the next few days directly. No team, no staff. It's gonna be me looking at these emails because I want to help. So look at it this way. All right. So it's let's talk with Stanley D at gmail.com. LETSTANLEYSTANLEY D as in David at gmail.com. Let's talk with Stanley D at gmail.com. And go to the website, onevoiceworldwide.com. That's the numerical one, onevoiceworldwide.com. If you type in ONE, you're not going to get it. So put the numerical one, VOICE worldwide.com, onevoiceworldwide.com. Go there, hit us up, and make sure that's there. So in closing out of what we're doing, I want to just share with you guys and come all the way back to the beginning. I don't want anybody, if I can absolutely help it, me, my partners, we don't want anybody to be in a position to where they lose a job, they lost a job, or they're not making enough, or they just want a new career change, or whatever it may be, or they want an additional stream of revenue, and y'all don't have an opportunity. Today, I wanted to share this, and there's so much more to it. This is just a kind of a brief, and I took my time, but this is just a brief overview. But I want to talk to those individuals and make sure everybody have an opportunity, regardless of where you're calling from. You know, we've had some massive success. As a matter of fact, our 20-year celebration, we had a gentleman by the name of Keith Burris receive the Founders Award of Excellence, right? And it just being there and being in that environment to see him receive that, and the humility and the power and the passion that he received it was just remarkable. And I could give you story after story. We just recently had a young lady began the top of our company, Miss Lucille Landrum, and to see her family there and the grace of what she represent, crown was called crown ambassador, and all of those things, it was amazing. Listen, I'll share so much more with you, but make sure you go to the website and make sure you hit me up directly, because I want to point you in the right direction to help you start your own business within One Voice Worldwide. So let me give you that email and that website one more time, and then we're out of here. The email is let's talk with Stanley D at gmail.com. LETSTALKWITHSTANLEY D as in David at gmail.com. And go to onevoiceworldwide.com. That's the numerical one, onevoiceworldwide.com. And let us share with you how to start, how to have your own links, and how to have your own everything. We want to help you build your business. All right. So listen, family, I appreciate you guys. I look forward to working with those individuals that want to get more information. I look forward to those individuals that are there and saying, hey, we're ready to receive and be able to be a blessing to you. We want to do all of those things. So that being said, I love each and every one of you. God bless. And I'll see y'all next week with another episode of Let's Talk with Stanley Doucette. Talk to y'all soon. We out. Peace.